Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a one note video where I talk about a specific note, and today's note is going to be peach. I'm going to be talking about peach, nectarine, and apricot all in this video. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Amy. I do videos on all things girly, beauty, fragrance, body care, self-care. If you like all of that type of content, don't forget to subscribe before you leave today's video so we can continue to hang out together. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being here with me today, and I appreciate you guys so much. So with that said, let's get right into today's. So let's get right into my peachy, apricot, and nectarine fragrances that I own in my collection. I am going to start off with the fragrances that have the note of peach. Now, peach to me can smell very juicy. Some fragrances even have like that fuzzy texture of the peach. So it depends. You can get like the very juicy inside of the peach. You can get a very refreshing fruity. It's sweet, but it's not too sweet. It's just a very refreshing note. And then if you do pick up the fuzzy texture of the peach, then it adds like a little bit of a dryness to the fragrance, but in such a beautiful way. Peach is a note that I have grown to love. It's not my favorite note in the world. It's not something that I go crazy over. But if I do see that a fragrance has peach in it, I usually go for it because it usually does work out for me. It's not a note that I don't like or that it's offensive to me. It is just a beautiful, fruity, juicy note. So I am going to start off with a peach that is a little bit more on the strong side. There is honey in here. There is patchouli in here. The peach is not necessarily the main star of the fragrance, but I do feel like I do get the peach in here. And it's wrapped around honey. It's very thick, and that is Jean Paul Gaultier's Candle. And this scent right here, it's just very honey, imagine a peach, but there's like honey dripping all over on top of it. And then that patchouli adds a little bit more of like a sexy, long-lasting vibe to the fragrance. So this is definitely a sexy peach. It's more of like an evening type of fragrance. This is definitely a scent that I like to use more in fall and winter time. You can wear it in summer nights if you want to, but I will go very light-handed with the sprays because this scent right here, it's beast mode. It projects, it performs so beautiful, and it's very long-lasting, so you don't need too much of it. There's like a tiny dent in here because when I do use it, I do about 2 to 3 sprays of this one and I'm good to go, and I definitely smell it on myself the whole time. It's just a very intoxicating fragrance. So that is Scandal. Next up is one that I fell in love because I did pick up a ton of peach in this fragrance, and this is Hugo Boss The Scent. So this one is just the original the scent, not the scent Private Accord, which has the chocolate. This is the more fruity one. This has peach and freesia, and it also has osmanthus and cacao, but to me, peach. It is the most juicy, sweet, fruity fragrance. The peach in here is so beautiful. This is a fragrance that you can use every day, all year round. It's just a very fruity fragrance. It's so good. And it does have that cacao in the dry down, and that osmanthus gives it like this very smooth texture to the fragrance, almost creamy type of peachy scent to me, and I just love this one so much as well. I did use this one a couple months ago. I did put a little bit of a dent in it, but it is so beautiful and I need to wear it some more because this right here, it's just peach is like the star of the show here. So I really love this one, and I recommend this one as well. If you love peach fragrances, this is a must-have. Next up is another fragrance that I love so much. I don't use it as much as I should. I feel like the fragrances that I love the most, I kind of like save them. I don't know why, like for special days or things like that, but this is Coach Floral Blush. So the peach in here is amazing. It's gorgeous. It's very girly. There's also grapefruit in here. So the grapefruit is very noticeable in the opening. You get like a blast of grapefruit, but then as that starts to come down, that peach starts to get stronger, and it's just such a beautiful fragrance. There's also peony in here as well, and there is also musk and white wood. So you are getting like a woody dry down with a nice floral peachy dry down, and it is just beautiful. This is another beautiful underrated fragrance, and I think that is a crowd pleaser type of fragrance. The only people that I probably wouldn't recommend this for is someone who is truly just anti-floral fragrances, because it does have a floral side to it, but it is peony, which tends to be softer, girlier, not as harsh and sharp. It's just such a beautiful fragrance, and that is Coach Floral Blush. Okay, so next up I have a fragrance that I absolutely love. I have a humongous dent on this fragrance and I'm almost done with it, and this is Dolce & Gabbana Dolce Rose. So here is my big dent, and this fragrance right here is just so fruity. When this fragrance was released, I was expecting a rose fragrance and I was a little bit like worried about blind buying it, and when I received it and I sprayed it, it was so beautiful. So it does have a lot of apple in it. I do notice a lot of apple in this scent, but then it also has the peach in there, and the peach is beautiful as well. I am a huge fan of the Dolce line from Dolce & Gabbana. I love almost all of them. And this one is just fruity, it's juicy, it's fresh, it's almost like aquatic because it's very like wet feeling. And that peach in here, I love layering this with Pretty as a Peach from Bath & Body Works. It is like a match made in heaven. Love those to combine together. This is just a very girly, easygoing scent that you can wear to go shopping. Just my favorite type of example, which is doing your nails, taking care of yourself, and you just want to smell good while you're doing it. So this is the perfect fragrance for that. And as you can see, I am almost done with this one. Once I am done, I am not repurchasing a lot of fragrances right now until I move back to the States, which will be next year around August. I will be moving. So once I am back in the States, then I will start repurchasing fragrances that I used up and I loved. But for right now, once I'm done with this one, I'll have to wait a little bit, but it is just beautiful, easy reach type of fragrance. Next up is more of like a fizzy, a little bit spicy, sexy peach, and that is one of my all-time favorite fragrances. I have purchased this fragrance probably 3 or 4 times. I have lost count how many I've gotten. I haven't gave this bottle too much use because I'm constantly trying out new fragrances, but this is Gucci Guilty. This is my everything type of fragrance. I even got married with this fragrance, okay? I got married in court and I was wearing Gucci Guilty. Back then, I didn't really think of what scent should I wear. I loved fragrances, but I wasn't that deep into it. And now I'm like, wow, is that still a choice that I would make? I don't think so, but I do want to do a video on fragrances that I would wear if I was to have a wedding, because I do have a few of you who have requested that from me, and I definitely want to give that to you guys. That just takes a little bit more thought for me because, you know, getting married is a really big deal. This fragrance, it has peach in it. It's a little peppery, but in the best way, because I really do not like pink pepper or like very strong pepper in fragrances, but this pink pepper in here, it is just so sexy to me. This fragrance to me is just sexy vibes. It's such a beautiful fragrance. I love it so much. I don't hear no one talking about this, and I feel like I'm just like the only one that talks about Gucci Guilty, but it is just such a good one to me. And it's not too floral, it's not too fruity, it's not too much of anything. The peach is definitely in here. It's not a super juicy peach. I think to me it's more of like a dry peach. It just makes me think of my first dates with my husband. So it's always going to have a special place in my heart. I wore this when I first started dating my husband. I wore it for years after that. It was like my signature scent. So there's so many memories in this fragrance. And I did declutter it last year. I don't know how many of you guys remember that declutter, and I quickly just brought it right back because I missed it and I don't use it as much as I used to before, but it's always going to have a special place in my heart, and it is a beautiful peach fragrance. Okay, next up we have a more recent release, and this is by Viktor and Rolf, and this is Flower Bomb Ruby Orchid. When I saw that this fragrance had peach in it, I was very excited for it because I felt like it was gonna be a really nice twist to Flower Bomb, and when I received it, I was pretty happy with it, and I feel like it smells even better now that I let it sit in my collection. I'm waiting for like fall time to start wearing it again. I feel, you know what, I am a very firm believer that if you let fragrances sit for a couple of months, that's when you get like the best just scent out of them. I feel like when they're new, yeah, they might smell good, but give them a couple months. This has peach in it, but it also has vine in it, so you do get that fuzzy kind of like the entire peach with the leaves and everything. In the opening, I do get that vibe. It's a tiny bit juicy, but not really. It's not like super juicy, just a tiny little bit. And then there's orchid and vanilla bean. So I feel like they did an amazing job with this fragrance, and I'm waiting for September, October time frame to just start wearing the heck out of this one, because I feel like it's going to be just beautiful. And I love, 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 love the bottle. So I am a big fan of it. Hopefully I can go through it quickly, because I'm trying to go through as many fragrances as I can. All right, so next up is a fragrance that I have been using nonstop this past month, and I do have a pretty good dent going on in this one. And this is from Dior. This is Miss Dior Blooming Bouquet, and this is going to take us into the transition of apricot, because this has both peach and apricot in it. You do get mandarin in the opening at first, but then once that citrusy kind of opening wears off, then that is when the peach and apricot start to shine and come through. So yeah, at first it's a very bright blast of citrus from that mandarin. And then quickly the peony and the peach and the apricot starts coming through. And oh my God, this is just such a gorgeous, girly fragrance. Very bright, very like uplifting and energizing. Perfect for springtime, perfect for summertime. I have been really, really enjoying this one in summer. It doesn't last that long, but if you love the scent, then I think it's worth it. I feel like once I do go through this one, I'm not sure if I'm going to repurchase again, but it is gorgeous. It is a little tiny bit on the sharper side, so I don't like to go crazy around like anywhere that's close to my face, because it's just a tad bit sharp to me, and I'm not too sure what it is. Maybe it's the rose in here, because every other note is not really sharp like that. So, but yeah, beautiful, girly, peachy fragrance. All right, so now that we are in the apricot section, the next one that I'm going to talk about is this Marc Jacobs Daisy Love Days. And this has apricot, osmanthus, and amber. So it's pretty much an apricot bomb. Ooh, and it is so good, you guys. This right here, you can still find at discount fragrance websites. And if you can get your hand on this and you like peachy, I feel like apricot is a little bit more likable than peach, because peach is more like unique. I feel like it's a little bit more polarizing. People either love it or hate it. But apricot, I feel like it's a little bit softer. It's a little bit sweeter. This is just, what a good fragrance. This is very girly, feminine, just beautiful for springtime and summer. But it's just a beautiful like year-round scent. I feel like it's just so gorgeous. And the packaging, I'm not mad at it. I don't mind the big old flower. It doesn't bother me. I think it's cute. It does take up a lot of space though. That's the only thing I don't like about it. But beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Okay, now for a more seductive, little bit deeper, sexier type of apricot fragrance. Here we have Loverdo's Red Kiss by Diesel, and I just love this bottle. I haven't really gotten to wear this fragrance a lot because I just recently hauled it. I'm waiting for like fall time, because I feel like I'm going to really, really love it in fall, because it does turn into a more woody, like chocolatey type of fragrance. It just has those types of notes that I love for fall time. There's hazelnut in here, there's cacao pod, sugar, but I do get that apricot in here, and it just gives it like a juicy, fruity type of scent until it dries down and it turns into a more rich, deeper type of fragrance with those more gourmand notes. Ooh, this one is just so sexy and so good. All right, so next up, we're going to move on to Nectarine. I have two scents in my collection that have Nectarine, and one of them is Juliet Has a Gun Magnolia Bliss, which I am going to be adding to my tray for August because I want to start wearing this baby up. And this one has nectarine, but there's also florals in here. There's also citrus in the opening. This is just the girliest, beautiful, yet spicy, because of that ginger gives it like this kick of spice in the opening, which some people don't pick it up, but I pick up a lot of the ginger. That's why I want to use it for fall time. And like I always describe this fragrance is, just think of the Herbal Essence Rose shampoo, but you add a little bit of ginger to that, so there's like a kick of a spice in here, and then that nectarine gives it like a juicy, fruity type of vibe. It is just a stunning fragrance, and this lasts hours and hours. And for it being a Juliet has a gun fragrance, it's definitely one of the most like long lasting and like more projecting and just better performing scents that they have came out with. It's more of like a heavy hitter compared to all of their other fragrances, and I strongly recommend that you give this a sniff if you go to Sephora or a department store. Very unique, beautiful, floral, fruity, spicy scent. Last but not least, we have Britney Spears Private Show. I'm not spraying this. I am not wasting what I have left in this 1 ounce bottle. I have a huge dent on it, and this does have nectarine in it. I do pick up that nectarine in the opening, but this is a very gourmand fragrance. It has coffee, it has whipped cream, it has dulce de leche, so it's going to be super gourmand, but you do get a little bit of that nectarine in there as well, and it just adds like a fruity touch to an otherwise very gourmand, creamy scent. But this right here is so beautiful, and I need to get my hands on another bottle because it's been harder to find this scent. So this is one that I hopefully can get my hands on another bottle. Not now, but in the future. But beautiful, beautiful fragrance as well. So that brings me to the end of today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Comment down below any peach fragrances that you love that maybe I haven't tried. Ooh, I forgot to mention one that I don't have in my collection no more because I gave it to my mom, but it is a peach bomb. Beautiful peach, sophisticated, classy scent, and that is Jimmy Choo's I Want You. I gave it to my mom just because it smelled so good on her. She liked it. I didn't get rid of it because I didn't like it or anything. I just kind of let her have it because I had so many fragrances like always, so I just kind of got happy to give it to her. But that is a fragrance that I do see back in my collection once I move, just because it's like a very classy, beautiful fragrance for if you want to wear it for like holiday parties or maybe like a wedding or like a birthday celebration or a dinner. Beautiful, beautiful peach. That one should definitely be on the top of my list, and I completely forgot about that one because I don't have it anymore. But if you are looking for a peach fragrance that still smells high-end, very classy, very sophisticated, Jimmy Choo I Want You is definitely the way to go. So now I'm really done with my list. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Comment down below any peach scents that you love or that you think I would like. Can't wait to chat with you guys. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Hace mucho tiempo la